Hello and welcome. I am Lisa McNett with an important message for the healers and the helpers. Oh, looks like Sheena the cat is going to join us today for this message. So if you don't know me, I am the founder of One Breath Institute, and my journey in life, I support the healers, the helpers, the empaths in the world to be able to show up and to do the work that you love doing and to make the impact and income that you are supposed to. So today's message is it's an important one, so stick with me. I'm going to try to wrap it up in a short period of time. But it's about self-abandonment. Self-abandonment. So why is this important? Well, today, right now, I'm recording this October 3rd, and there are so many people in Florida, in the Carolinas, in Tennessee, and even Georgia who are in dire and desperate situations. There are people who have lost their homes, lost their cars, lost their businesses, lost everything. And in a broader spectrum, there is a lot of that happening all over the planet. There's so much happening right now. There's a lot of people that are suffering and a lot of people that need help. Well, that's kind of happening all the time. Sometimes it's just more imminent for certain people. And right now it's more imminent in these communities, but tomorrow and in a month, it might be more imminent and more prominent in another community. And so what happens with those and for those of us who really want to help, who don't want suffering, who support other people is we have a tendency, you might, if you're like me, you might have a tendency to really want to dive in and support other people. And so that's why this message is coming through so strongly for me right now. Let's take a breath. I like to take a breath and just pause. So I said a little bit about why this message is coming through so strongly for me right now. But this is something that we do and that happens all the time for those of us who are used to helping others, who are used to supporting others. And there is some part of us, if you're like me, if you resonate with this, if you're like me, or if you're like people that you work with, you may really feel like helping other people fills you up. Like that is what supports you. And like that is what you are meant to be doing. And if so, there is definitely some part of that that is very much true. And it's highly likely that also under the surface of that, there is some abandonment. And so what we learn, oftentimes people who are highly empathic or highly sensitive, or who really are in this field where we feel like a strong need to support and help others. Oftentimes we come from an environment where it wasn't fully safe. It wasn't fully safe, and we had to learn, or we learned at an early age, that if we do things for other people, that it one just might be safer for us, or two, we receive love in that way, right? If we are supporting other people in our home, it might lead to a safer environment, a quieter, calmer environment, and we may receive more love and care when we do that. So back to self-abandonment. What is self-abandonment? Self-abandonment is when we don't recognize our own needs, or we ignore our own needs, suppress our own needs, or put others' needs first. And one way that I found that is very strong and very prominent within me when I'm doing that, that the way that I can identify when I may be doing that is there's a little voice that comes up and some strong emotion that comes up that's like, what about me? What about me? And this what about me can take on a lot of other forms, a lot of other language as well. But what about me could be, I wish somebody would take care of me in this way that I am doing for others, or in this way that I see that person doing for that person, right? That's another form of what about me? The what about me, when that what about me comes up for me, it's a little girl stomping her feet. What about me? What about me? Who's gonna take care of me? What about my needs? Hello, 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 hello. It's very much like that. And that oftentimes comes up when I'm ignoring, right? I'm looking at all the things that I want to do for others, and there's a great need within me that I really need to take care of. So is this landing for you? I'm just curious if you can relate to this. Um, yeah, the what about me? What about me? It's nobody's there for me, right? I do so much for others. One day it's going to pay off. One day I'm going to be recognized. It's just some other words that are connected to that. Self-abandonment that we don't realize. It's a sneaky, sneaky thing. Sometimes it's very strong, right? What about me? And sometimes it's just, I'm going to just keep doing this good and keep pouring into my community and keep pouring myself into this. And one day it's going to pay off. One day I'm going to receive. So this is where I might be challenging some beliefs a little bit. Might be challenging some of your beliefs. You might be getting angry. You might be like, well, yeah, somebody should be taking care of me. Or yeah, one day I do believe that. One day this will come back to me. Well, this might be true. And there is something that you can do for yourself right now. There's something more that you could be doing for yourself right now to be more supportive of what you actually need so that you are caring for and tending to yourself, right? That self-abandonment means that you're just not not doing that, right? So it's very easy. So when we identify this, when we can connect with this, when we can connect with these words, with this sensation, with this feeling of what about me, or I wish something was different with this relationship. I'm giving, 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 and I'm not receiving. Gives you an opportunity. That's an invitation to pause, take some breaths, do some journaling, do some movement, do some self-inquiry and some self-reflection on what is it that I need right now, and how can I support myself in this need right now? And it might just be, what is one thing I can do for myself today? One simple thing, right? So we might, and for me, often, like lately, what's been coming up for me is I need more rest. I need more rest. And I will fight, like I will be like, but I have to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Like I have to power through. No, my body is telling me I need to rest. And I found that when I allow that, when I just stop and I go and I rest, and I don't mean like watching TV or a movie, because that might seem like rest. You're really just going into a trance-like state, but you are not actually getting the rest that you need. I mean, like taking a nap. I just take a 30-minute nap. I can wake up so much more refreshed, and then things flow. I have much more energy to do the things that I felt like I have to do, but I couldn't power through because I needed that rest. So it's just one little example of something that is so supportive that I might talk myself out of doing. So, I'm just sharing this with you because does that resonate with you? Or what is a way that you can identify that you suppress or ignore or try to fight against something that your body is telling you that it needs because you think you need blah, blah, blah. So one last little thing that I'll just share is, most of us have heard about how you can't give from an empty cup, right? You can't give from, you have to fill yourself up. And what I share with the clients that I work with and the students that I work with is that we don't just fill the cup. It's not enough to just fill the cup and then do all this work and empty the cup and then fill the cup again. We need to put so much self-care and self-prioritization into the cup so that the cup is just at some point overflowing. And it's in the overflow that we can then support and then help others. It's in that overflow. And this is where I challenge some of your beliefs because it is not selfish to prioritize the self and to give the self what you need. It is necessary. It is necessary. And it may not be just going against your beliefs, but it may feel so challenging to let that truth come in because you've been programmed, maybe from birth. Most of us in the society have been programmed to put others before us. That's such a common phrase, selfish. You're selfish, right? Most of us have been programmed to suppress our own needs, to suppress our own nature, and to put everything before our own needs. And so what I'm offering to you is a different way that goes against all of that programming. And so, but if you, and for all of my students and all of my clients who work with me and with us, start to realize the fundamental truth of what I'm saying, that prioritization of self, that giving to the needs of the self first and so much, which can look like stepping away from helping and doing so much for others, can lead to having a greater capacity to be of service at another point. And you are being of service. You don't realize it, but you are being of service because when you prioritize yourself and your own needs and stop abandoning yourself, you are setting an example and you are creating a ripple effect for other people to start doing this as well, which is the best way that you can help. All right, so that's my message today. If you resonate with this, if you found it helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, share. Send it with somebody who needs, send it to somebody who needs to hear this message. And if you want to work with me, I work with people through One Breath Institute. I'm very easily found, and you can also find me just through Lisa McNett. All right, wishing you all the best and talk soon.